The distant star of Delta Centauri 5 was a vibrant beacon of hope in the vast expanse of the Milky Way galaxy. Its rich abundance of resources and mineral deposits had attracted countless alien species over the centuries, each vying for control of its valuable assets. Among the most dominant and ruthless of these species were the Vakarians, a formidable race of reptilian warriors known for their brutal conquests and relentless expansion. For decades, they had imposed their tyrannical rule over the planets under their domain, subjugating any civilization that dared to oppose them. But in the shadows of tyranny, a spark of resistance flickered, a tiny glimmer of hope that would soon ignite into a blazing inferno of defiance. It was a spark fueled not by strength or aggression, but by something far more powerful: courage. On the small blue-green planet of Terra, the humans had long been viewed as a meek and insignificant species by the rest of the galaxy. Their technology was primitive, their numbers limited, and their military prowess virtually non-existent. They were dismissed as cowards, unworthy of attention or respect. Yet it was precisely this perception of weakness that would prove to be the humans' greatest strength. For hidden beneath their humble exterior was a resilience and determination that defied all expectations. When the Vakarians descended upon Terra with their mighty warships and overwhelming forces, the humans did not cower in fear. Instead, they stood tall and resolute, ready to defend their world against all odds. As the Vakarian armada emerged from the depths of space, their weapons primed and their warriors brimming with confidence, the humans prepared for the inevitable onslaught. Cities were evacuated, defenses were fortified, and every able-bodied soul was mobilized for the coming conflict. On the outskirts of the capital city, a young human named Sarah gazed up at the darkening sky, her heart filled with a mix of fear and determination. She knew that the odds were stacked against them, that victory seemed like an impossible dream. But as she looked around at her fellow humans, their eyes filled with defiance and their spirits unbroken, she felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. "We may be outnumbered and outmatched," Sarah thought to herself, "but we will never surrender. We will fight for our freedom, for our future, and for all that we hold dear. And even if we fall, we will do so with honor and courage, knowing that we stood our ground against tyranny." As the first Vakarian warships descended upon Terra, their weapons blazing and their armies marching forward, the humans drew their line in the sand and prepared to make their stand. And in that moment, as the clash of steel and plasma rent the air and the ground shook beneath their feet, the galaxy would witness a sight unlike any other, a species once dismissed as cowards rising up to face their oppressors with a courage that defied all logic. For when only cowardly humans stepped up, the galaxy would learn that true bravery knows no bounds, and that sometimes the smallest of beings can cast the mightiest of shadows. The cacophony of war echoed across the once serene landscape of Terra as the Vakarian forces unleashed their fury upon the planet. Blaster fire streaked through the sky, explosions rocked the ground, and the cries of the wounded and dying filled the air. The humans fought with a ferocity born of desperation, their backs against the wall but their spirits unbroken. Sarah sprinted through the rubble-strewn streets, her heart pounding in her chest as she searched for survivors and offered what aid she could. The devastation was widespread, buildings reduced to smoldering ruins, and the stench of death hung heavy in the air. But amidst the chaos and destruction, she saw glimmers of hope, a group of humans rallying together to defend a makeshift barricade, a medic tending to the wounded with steely determination, a child clutching a toy soldier and gazing up at the sky with a fierce determination. As Sarah approached the front lines, she saw the towering figures of the Vakarian warriors advancing, their scaly skin gleaming in the harsh light, their eyes filled with a savage hunger for conquest. She felt a surge of fear wash over her, but she pushed it aside, drawing strength from the courage of her fellow humans. "We will not yield to these tyrants," Sarah shouted, her voice ringing out above the din of battle. "We will stand firm and fight with all that we have, for our freedom, for our future, for Terra." The humans took up the cry, their voices joining together in a defiant roar that shook the very ground beneath them. They gripped their weapons tightly, their determination shining bright in their eyes as they braced themselves for the coming onslaught. The clash of civilizations erupted in a symphony of chaos and violence, as humans and Vakarians clashed in a fierce struggle for dominance. Blaster fire streaked through the air, energy shields shimmered and crackled, and blades clashed in a lethal dance of death. The humans fought with a tenacity that surprised even themselves, refusing to back down in the face of overwhelming odds. Sarah stood at the forefront of the battle, her heart racing and her senses heightened as she faced off against a towering Vakarian warrior. She knew that defeat seemed all but inevitable, but she refused to give in to despair. With a defiant shout, she charged forward, her blade slashing through the air as she met her opponent head-on. The battle raged on, the outcome uncertain, as the fate of Terra hung in the balance. But through the smoke and the chaos, a glimmer of hope shone brightly, an indomitable spirit that refused to be extinguished, a courage that defied all logic and reason. For when only cowardly humans stepped up, the galaxy would witness a display of bravery and resilience that would forever alter the course of history. And in that moment, as the clash of civilizations reached its crescendo, the humans would prove that true courage knows no bounds. The battle for Terra raged on, a swirling maelstrom of chaos and violence that seemed to know no end. The humans and Vakarians clashed with unrelenting ferocity, their weapons flashing and energy shields crackling as they fought for supremacy. Amidst the din of battle, Sarah found herself locked in a fierce struggle with the Vakarian warrior, their blades clashing in a symphony of steel. She felt the weight of her enemy's strength bearing down upon her, his reptilian eyes glinting with a predatory gleam. But Sarah refused to give in, drawing upon reserves of courage and determination she never knew she possessed. With a surge of adrenaline, Sarah struck out with all her might, her blade finding its mark with a resounding clang. The Vakarian staggered back, a look of surprise crossing his face as Sarah pressed her advantage with relentless resolve. Blow after blow rained down upon the warrior, each strike fueled by a fierce determination to protect her world and her people. As the Vakarian fell to the ground, defeated, a rippling wave of hope spread through the human ranks. The tide of battle seemed to turn in that moment, as the humans found renewed strength and resolve in their unexpected victory. Across the battlefield, other pockets of resistance sprang up, humans rallying together to push back against the Vakarian onslaught. The Vakarians, taken aback by the sudden show of defiance, found themselves facing an enemy unlike any they had encountered before, a species that refused to surrender, a people who fought with a courage that defied all reason. The humans, emboldened by their initial success, fought with a newfound fervor, driving the Vakarians back with each passing moment. The skies above Terra filled with the clash of warships, as human pilots engaged the enemy in fierce aerial battles that painted the heavens with streaks of fire and smoke. For every Vakarian warrior that fell, for every warship that was brought crashing to the ground, the humans felt a glimmer of hope shining brighter in their hearts. They knew that victory was far from assured, that the battle was far from over, but they refused to back down, drawing strength from their unwavering resolve. And as the sun set on the battered landscape of Terra, bathing the battlefield in a warm glow, the humans pressed forward with a courage that burned like a beacon in the darkness. For when only cowardly humans stepped up, they showed the galaxy that true bravery knows no limits, and that even the smallest of beings can cast the mightiest of shadows. As the dust settled over the battlefield on Terra, a solemn calm descended upon the war-torn landscape. The echoes of battle still lingered in the air, mingling with the pained cries of the wounded and the distant rumble of distant explosions. The humans and Vakarians stood locked in a precarious standoff, each side nursing their wounds and assessing their losses. Sarah stood amidst the ruins, her chest heaving with exhaustion and her hands still gripping her blade tightly. The weight of the battle pressed down upon her, the gravity of the conflict and the uncertainty of the future weighing heavily on her heart. But even in the midst of despair, she refused to succumb to defeat. "We've held them back for now," Sarah thought to herself, her gaze sweeping over the battlefield. "But the fight is far from over. We must remain vigilant, remain steadfast in our resolve to defend Terra at all costs." As dawn broke over the horizon, casting its golden light upon the scarred landscape, a glimmer of hope ignited within the hearts of the humans. The Vakarians, their ranks thinned and their morale shaken, began to retreat, their pride wounded by the unexpected resistance of the humans. The humans watched in grim satisfaction as the enemy forces pulled back, a sense of triumph mingling with their exhaustion. With the immediate threat abated, the humans set to work tending to the wounded, rebuilding their defenses, and preparing for the inevitable return of the Vakarians. They knew that the battle was far from over, that the tyrannical forces would not rest until they had crushed all resistance. But they also knew that they would not yield, that they would stand firm in the face of adversity and fight with all they had. Sarah joined her fellow humans in the rebuilding efforts, her hands stained with dirt and blood, as she worked tirelessly to fortify their defenses. She felt a sense of camaraderie and unity among her people, a shared determination to protect their world and their way of life. In the face of overwhelming odds, they found strength in each other, drawing upon their unwavering resolve to push forward. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, the humans continued to hold their ground, fending off countless Vakarian incursions and weathering wave after wave of attacks. The galaxy looked on in awe at the spectacle unfolding on Terra, as a species once dismissed as cowards stood tall and proud, a shining beacon of hope in the darkness. And in that moment, as the humans forged ahead with unwavering courage and resilience, they showed the galaxy that true bravery knows no bounds. For when only cowardly humans stepped up, they proved that even in the face of insurmountable odds, the smallest of beings can cast the mightiest of shadows, and that hope can thrive even in the darkest of time. Months turned into years as the conflict on Terra persisted, with the humans and Vakarians locked in a seemingly endless struggle for control of the planet. The humans had proven themselves to be a formidable adversary, their tenacity and resilience unmatched, their courage unwavering in the face of overwhelming odds. Sarah had emerged as a prominent figure among the humans, a symbol of hope and inspiration to her people. She led by example, fearlessly stepping up to every challenge, her unwavering determination serving as a beacon for all who fought alongside her. Despite the hardships and losses, she never wavered in her resolve to protect Terra and its inhabitants. As the Vakarians launched their most massive assault yet, their forces surging forward with renewed ferocity, the humans braced themselves for the ultimate showdown. The skies above Terra became a battlefield once more, as warships clashed and explosions lit up the horizon, painting the heavens with bursts of light and fire. In the midst of the chaos, Sarah stood at the forefront of the defense, her blade flashing in the sunlight as she rallied her fellow humans to stand firm against the onslaught. The ground shook beneath their feet as the Vakarians advanced, their sheer numbers threatening to overwhelm the defenders. But the humans did not falter, their courage burning bright in the darkness. "We will not back down. We will fight until our last breath, until every last Vakarian warrior is driven back from our world." Sarah's voice rang out, filled with a fierce determination that reverberated through the ranks of the defenders. The battle raged on, each side locked in a brutal struggle for supremacy. The ground trembled with the force of the combat, with the clash of weapons and the roar of explosions filling the air. The humans fought with a ferocity born of desperation, refusing to surrender their world to the tyrannical forces that sought to enslave them. As the tide of battle ebbed and flowed, a glimmer of hope began to emerge amidst the chaos. The humans, bolstered by their unwavering resolve and solidarity, started to push back against the Vakarians, gaining ground inch by hard-fought inch. The Vakarian forces, taken aback by the humans' sheer determination, found themselves facing an enemy unlike any they had encountered before. And in that moment of truth, as the humans and Vakarians clashed in a final decisive battle for Terra, the galaxy bore witness to a spectacle of courage and defiance that would be spoken of for generations to come. The humans had proven that true bravery knows no limits, that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, they could rise up and stand tall against all odds. For when only cowardly humans stepped up, they showed the galaxy that the smallest of beings could cast the mightiest of shadows, that hope could flourish even in the darkest of times. And as the battle reached its crescendo, the humans fought on with a courage that burned like a beacon in the night, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a species that refused to be conquered. The battlefield on Terra was a landscape of chaos and destruction, the air thick with the acrid scent of smoke and the reverberating echoes of conflict. The humans and Vakarians clashed with a relentless intensity, their forces locked in a bitter struggle for control of the planet. The fate of Terra hung in the balance, teetering on the edge of victory or defeat. Sarah stood amidst the fray, her blade a blazing arc of defiance as she fought with a courage that knew no bounds. She moved with a grace and ferocity that belied her small stature, her eyes filled with a fire that burned bright in the darkness of war. She led her fellow humans with unwavering resolve, inspiring them to fight on against the seemingly insurmountable forces arrayed against them. As the battle raged on, the tide began to turn in favor of the humans. The Vakarians, their numbers dwindling and their morale faltering in the face of the humans' unyielding resistance, found themselves pushed back, forced to retreat under the relentless onslaught of their determined adversaries. The humans advanced, pressing their advantage with a unity and determination that caught the Vakarians off guard. With each passing moment, the humans gained ground, driving the Vakarians back towards the edge of defeat. The Vakarian commanders, once arrogant and confident in their superiority, now found themselves facing the imminent collapse of their invasion as the humans fought with a ferocity that defied all expectations. In a final push, Sarah led a daring charge against the remaining Vakarian forces, her blade cutting through their ranks like a scythe through wheat. The humans rallied behind her, their battle cries mingling with the clash of steel and the thunder of explosions as they fought with an unbreakable spirit born of desperation and defiance. And then, in a moment that seemed to stretch out for eternity, the last of the Vakarian forces fell, their defeat echoing across the battlefield like a thunderclap. The humans stood victorious, their weapons lowered, their eyes filled with a mix of exhaustion and triumph. As the dust settled and the silence of victory descended upon the battlefield, the humans gathered together, their faces etched with a mix of relief and sorrow for the fallen. They looked to Sarah, their leader and beacon of hope, with a sense of reverence and gratitude for her unwavering courage and selflessness. "We have defended Terra, our home, with honor and bravery," Sarah declared, her voice ringing out across the battlefield. "Today, we have shown the galaxy that even the so-called cowardly humans can rise up and fight with a courage unmatched by any adversary. We have triumphed against all odds, and we will continue to stand strong together, united in our resilience and determination." And as the sun set over the war-torn landscape of Terra, casting its golden light upon the victors, the humans stood tall amidst the ruins, a testament to the indomitable spirit that dwelled within their hearts. For when only cowardly humans stepped up, they proved that true bravery knows no bounds, that courage in the face of adversity can conquer even the mightiest of foes. And in that moment of triumph, they embraced a future filled with hope, unity, and the promise of a new beginning. In the aftermath of the decisive victory on Terra, a sense of collective relief and awe permeated the once war-torn planet. The echoes of battle faded into the background as the humans began the arduous task of rebuilding their shattered world. The scars of war marred the landscape, but amidst the destruction, there lay a newfound sense of unity and resilience that bound the inhabitants of Terra together. Sarah, hailed as a hero amongst her people, stood at the forefront of the reconstruction efforts, her determination unwavering as she led her fellow humans in restoring their homes and communities. The spirit of camaraderie and cooperation that had emerged during the darkest days of the conflict now flourished, strengthening the resolve of the humans to forge a brighter future for Terra. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Terra began to rise from the ashes like a phoenix reborn. The cities were rebuilt, the scars of war gradually fading as new life and vitality returned to the once devastated planet. The humans worked tirelessly, united in their shared purpose to create a better world for future generations. Amidst the rebuilding efforts, alliances were forged with neighboring species who had witnessed the humans' courage and tenacity in the face of adversity. The galaxy looked upon Terra with newfound respect and admiration, recognizing the remarkable resilience of a species once dismissed as cowardly. The humans had proven themselves to be a force to be reckoned with, their unwavering spirit reverberating far beyond the confines of their home planet. As Terra flourished once more, Sarah stood atop a newly constructed platform overlooking the bustling city below. The sun bathed the world in a warm golden light, a symbol of hope and renewal that shone brightly in the hearts of the humans. She addressed her fellow inhabitants, her voice filled with a mix of pride and humility. "Today, we stand united, stronger than ever before," Sarah proclaimed, her words carrying across the city square. "We have faced insurmountable odds, endured the darkest of days, and emerged victorious. Let our triumph serve as a testament to the power of courage, resilience, and unity. Together, we have shown the galaxy that even in the face of overwhelming adversity, humanity's spirit cannot be extinguished. And as the cheers of the crowd rose up, echoing through the streets of Terra, a sense of optimism and determination filled the air. The humans had forged a new beginning from the ashes of war, standing as a beacon of hope and inspiration to all who looked upon them. For when only cowardly humans stepped up, they had proven that true bravery knows no limits, that courage in the face of adversity can overcome the greatest of challenges. And as Terra embraced its rebirth, the humans looked towards the future with hearts full of resolve, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead with unwavering strength and unity. As the rebirth of Terra continued, a newfound era of prosperity and unity blossomed across the planet. The cities sparkled with life and activity, the landscapes once scarred by war now teeming with growth and vitality. The humans had not only rebuilt their world physically, but also spiritually, emerging from the crucible of conflict stronger and more united than ever before. Emboldened by their recent victory and filled with a sense of purpose, the humans began to reach out beyond their own borders, seeking to establish diplomatic ties with other species across the galaxy. Their reputation as courageous warriors and resilient survivors had spread far and wide, garnering the admiration and respect of many alien civilizations. One such species, the peaceful and highly advanced Orlorians, responded eagerly to the humans' overtures for alliance. The Orlorians had long admired the humans' steadfast determination and unwavering spirit in the face of adversity. They saw in the humans a kindred spirit, a species capable of incredible resilience and boundless courage. In a grand ceremony held on Terra, representatives from both races came together to formalize the alliance between the humans and the Orlorians. Sarah stood at the forefront, representing her people with grace and humility, her eyes alight with hope for the future. "Today marks a momentous occasion," Sarah proclaimed, her voice resonating with pride. "Together, the humans and the Orlorians stand united in a bond forged by shared values of courage, resilience, and mutual respect. Let this alliance serve as a beacon of cooperation and friendship that will guide us in facing the challenges that lie ahead." The Orlorian representative, a wise and venerable elder named Taulan, stepped forward, his luminous eyes filled with a deep sense of reverence for the humans. "It is an honor to stand alongside the humans in solidarity and partnership," Taulan spoke, his voice resonating with wisdom. "Together we shall combine our strengths, knowledge, and resources to create a future of peace and prosperity for all. May our alliance stand as a testament to the power of unity and understanding." And as the humans and Orlorians exchanged vows of friendship and solidarity, a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect filled the air, bridging the gap between two vastly different yet kindred species. The galaxy watched with admiration as the humans and Orlorians stood united, their alliance symbolizing the triumph of cooperation over conflict, of unity over division. For when only cowardly humans stepped up, they had not only defended their world, but had also forged a path towards a future built on trust, cooperation, and shared values. And as Terra and Orlorius came together in friendship, the galaxy marveled at the remarkable journey of a species that had proven time and again that true bravery knows no bounds. With the echoes of discord silenced, and the promise of a new era of unity and cooperation blossoming across the galaxy, General Zerath and Rin embarked on a quest for harmony that would take them to the farthest reaches of the cosmos. United by their shared vision of a future where peace and understanding reigned supreme, they set forth on a journey that would test their resolve and challenge their convictions. Their travels took them to distant worlds and alien landscapes, where they encountered species and civilizations unlike any they had ever known. Through diplomacy, empathy, and a shared commitment to bridging divides, General Zerath and Rin sought to build connections and forge alliances that would strengthen the bonds of unity that had begun to take root in the heart of the galaxy. On the verdant world of Serenaris, they met with the Arborians, a plant-like race whose deep connection to nature and the cycles of life offered a unique perspective on the importance of balance and harmony in the universe. Through patient dialogue and mutual respect, they found common ground with the Arborians, laying the groundwork for a partnership that would enrich the Galactic Coalition with their wisdom and ecological stewardship. Journeying to the frigid ice world of Cryothon, General Zerath and Rin encountered the Frostbound, a resilient species whose survival in the harshest of conditions spoke to their unparalleled tenacity and adaptability. In the face of their icy domain, General Zerath and Rin learned valuable lessons in resilience and perseverance, forging bonds of friendship that transcended the barriers of language and culture. As they traversed the cosmos, General Zerath and Rin bore witness to the diversity and complexity of sentient life in all its forms. They discovered that unity was not simply a goal to be achieved, but a journey to be embraced, a journey that required compassion, understanding, and a willingness to listen to the voices of those whose experiences and perspectives differed from their own. Through their quest for harmony, General Zerath and Rin came to understand that the true strength of the Galactic Coalition lay not in uniformity, but in the celebration of diversity and the recognition of the unique contributions that each species brought to the tapestry of cosmic civilization. As they looked towards the horizon, their hearts filled with hope and determination, they knew that the path towards a future of lasting peace and unity was one that would be paved with empathy, respect, and a shared commitment to building a galaxy where all sentient beings could thrive in harmony and cooperation.